Welcome back, my wellness wonders. It's me, Kari Johnson, and I'm back with another liberating episode. Today we'll be discussing fitness in low socioeconomic areas. I know you're all excited, but before we dive in today's topic, go follow my Instagram and Twitter at wellnesswonders1208 if you don't already do so. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. And if you would like to educate me on anything, I'm all ears. I would also like to thank you just for taking your time to listen to me today. Now let's get into it. Visualize this. A 9-year-old girl named Sarah is playing on the community playground in the neighborhood that she lives in. 1 block away from her house is a local food mart, and 2 blocks away is her elementary school. She eventually has to move to a different part of town, and every memory she has about this neighborhood is how she believes this neighborhood is going to be forever. 10 years later, Sarah is going off to college and decides to visit her old neighborhood before she moves into the next chapter of her life. As she's driving through the neighborhood, she begins to come to the realization that the place she once called home is no longer. The playground she used to play on is now a Target. The local food mart is now a fitness center. This is an example of gentrification. Gentrification is the process whereby the character of a poor urban area is changed by wealthier people moving in, improving housing, and attracting new businesses, typically displacing current inhabitants in the process. I have witnessed this process firsthand. Just 8 years ago, the entire Kirkwood-Edgewood area community was run down and considered the ghetto, full of low-income African Americans. Now it's full of middle-class suburbans with big houses, parks, and healthy restaurants. Displacement, which is also known as gentrification, has many health implications that contribute to disparities among special populations, including the poor, women, children, the elderly, and members of racial ethnic minority groups. According to the CDC, vulnerable populations have a shorter life expectancy, a higher cancer rate and birth deformities, a higher newborn mortality rate, and a higher prevalence of asthma, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Gentrification increases this population's chances of these risks by making these areas fast food based, which limits the opportunity for a healthy lifestyle. These risks have a direct relationship with fitness levels in these communities. As these health risks increase, the fitness levels decrease due to the elevated risk of injury, lack of motivation, which I will discuss more about later, and lack of knowledge this population has when it comes to exercise and its benefits. There are many factors that are affected by gentrification, such as stress levels, injury, violence, and crime. But have you ever considered fitness being a factor? Physical fitness is a huge contributing factor to living a long, healthy life. Along with diet, exercise plays an important role in controlling your weight and preventing obesity. To maintain your weight, the calories you eat and drink must equal the energy you burn. To lose weight, you must use more calories than you eat and drink. Exercise also strengthens your heart and improves your circulation. The increased blood flow raises the oxygen levels in your body. This helps lower your risk of heart diseases such as high cholesterol, coronary artery disease, and heart attack. Regular exercise can also lower your blood pressure and triglyceride levels. Amongst these populations, diabetes is a growing epidemic. With the help of exercise, it manages blood sugar and insulin levels. Exercise can lower your blood sugar level and help your insulin work better. This can cut down your risk for metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes. In this case, if you already have one of those diseases, exercise can help you manage it. However, knowing this knowledge isn't enough to improve the fitness levels in low socioeconomic areas. According to Schwartz, African Americans, women, the elderly, obese people, and those in underserved communities are less likely than others to participate in leisure time physical activity. In these communities, people are less likely to work out because of the lack of opportunity and time. These communities don't promote fitness and wellness, so the residents are less motivated and blind to the benefits they may reap if they do exercise. Moreover, when you ride through low-income areas, you mostly see fast food restaurants and low-budget grocery stores such as Piggly Wiggly that promote fatty foods and serve packaged veggies and fruits. On the other hand, when you see middle-high income class neighborhoods, they have grocery stores like Whole Foods that have healthier food options promoting fresh fruits and veggies and more efficient ways to stay fit. They also promote physical fitness and wellness. Some grocery stores even provide pamphlets with recipes to nutritious meals. Instead Instead of seeing 10 fast food restaurants, you see trails, parks, gyms, and if you do see restaurants, it's healthier, less greasy food options. For example, instead of there being a Popeyes or 3 McDonald's on one street, the high-class communities have Chipotle or Panera Bread. Another reason fitness is low in low-income areas is time and money. Instead of finding time to go to the gym, some residents have to work longer shifts and make extra money to make ends meet. So instead of working the normal 8-hour shifts 5 days a week, they have to work 12-hour shifts 6 to 7 days a week. This causes mentally and emotional stress, and with the help of exercise, you can improve your mental well-being. During exercise, your body releases chemicals that helps you feel more relaxed and reducing your stress levels and the risk of depression. Studies have shown that improved physical health outcomes, such as lower body fat percentage and increased physical activity, will be associated with fewer internalizing mental health symptoms, meaning the more you exercise, the better your mental health will be. The compound stress of poor health and financial issues in everyday life can be linked to lower physical activity. Additionally, most residents don't have the funds to keep up with memberships, so the chances of them going to a gym to work out is slim to none, especially being that there aren't many gyms in these areas. According to the New York Post, among the 9 indicators we analyzed, the biggest predictor of weekly physical activity at the state level was money. Residents of states with bigger median incomes were more likely to get out and exercise than people in low-income states. Physical activity can be very discouraging if you don't have the support and community behind you. It can be very difficult to find the motivation to take that step. It is very important to have a strong support system because it can be very stressful trying to live a healthy lifestyle with kids and not having anyone to watch them, or simply not trusting the community you live in to provide a safe environment for your kids to play in while you get your cardio in. In low socioeconomic areas, many residents have fast-paced food jobs. Therefore, it can be very unmotivating to find the energy to go exercise after a long day at work, especially if these residents have kids. Speaking of kids, the low amount of physical activity is a domino effect. Because the parents may not think that fitness and wellness is an important aspect in everyday life, which could affect the beliefs the next generation has on fitness. Therefore, kids decrease physical activity and increase screen time, which can result in child obesity and diabetes and expand their lack of motivation to go outside. This then could result in kids failing school. Studies have found that low-income neighborhoods factors such as perception of lower quality facilities and inability to pay facility fees were barriers to youth engaging in more frequent physical activity. They also found that youth who were found around safe adults at local facilities are most likely to engage in physical activity. Youth who participated in after-school programs were more likely to report more frequent, vigorous physical activity. Though the parents play a critical role in their children's physical activity, they aren't the only determining variables in the kids going outside to enjoy the nature. Another factor is crime. Crime and violence is very heavy in low-income areas, and also has an effect on local playgrounds and parks. Given the importance of parks as settings for outdoor recreation and physical activity, the presence of crime may have a detrimental effect on public health. Due to the crime and violence, children in these areas aren't able to play and get the physical activity they need. This could also play a role in parents not allowing their kids to go out to the playground as a result of fear. A study was completed to determine the relationship between crime rates in parks and park-based physical activity among park users in general. They found that violent crimes strongly correlate with lower park use. Crime has a significantly larger impact on girls than on boys. This causes females to report lower physical activity and more mental health symptoms than males, resulting in sex differences in the relationship between physical and mental health. Though both property and violent crimes were associated with reduced park use, violent crimes had a significant impact. Property crimes have seemed to have a brief effect on park attendance. Overall, fitness in low socioeconomic is low due to factors such as crime, time, and money. There should be ways to accommodate to these issues and promote more fitness and wellness in these areas. Some ways to accommodate to these issues will have to be more after-school programs for longer hours so that parents are able to have time to work out. And this also gives the children time to be physically active, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. For the crime and violence issue, I suggest more patrol around recreational parks and playgrounds to monitor the activity in the area, allowing for a safe community overall. Though the community may not have a say-so in the food choices in their grocery stores and restaurants being marketed, in these areas, they could start a community garden growing fresh fruits and veggies. For more motivation, there could be support groups for fitness and posters around the community promoting physical fitness. As an exercise physiologist, I feel as though this is an important topic to discuss in our field so that we can be aware of the circumstances that our clients may be under, so that we can be more aware and sympathetic to them and come up with a way for them to be physically active despite all of their odds. That's all I have for you today. Join me next Sunday for a surprise you don't want to miss. Don't forget to ask me any questions you may have or educate me on some things I may have missed. Be easy and stay fit, my wellness wonders.